Thanks for joining us again today. This is Harnessing Your Wealth. I'm Billy Peterson. My guest today is Shaun Peterson, and we're lucky to have a good friend of ours, Mike Leatham, who is actually a neighbor of ours. His business is just down the street, and we've known Mike for quite a few years, a number of years. He actually came and was a panelist at our financial boot camp, I don't know, about 5 or 6 years ago, seemed like. And Mike is a very dynamic fellow. He has his hand in a lot of different things, businesses, a lot of activities. He's got a lot of hobbies. And I think you're going to like Mike's show today because he has a lot of stories to tell. And I'll just give you a quick background on him from what I know. I know Mike started a business called SymbolArts in 1986. And it was really a hobby for him back in those days. It's just something that he was toying around with, messing around, creating pins and badges and things like that. Started with just himself doing this thing as a side gig. It's quite an impressive story, and I think you're going to like to hear what he has to say. Thanks for joining us today, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
We're excited. Tell us a little bit more about SymbolArts and how you created something that was just a concept, because this is so fascinating for me. I love to hear stories from business owners, how they started a concept and took it to next level, a very thriving business.
Well, I'll give you a little nutshell. Back when I was younger, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do or be when I grew up.
Like all of us.
Once in a while, I still wonder.
Yeah, you're still growing up.
So I lived in the Philippines, and I met a factory over there. And this factory became good friends of mine, and they make class rings, like high school rings, college rings, military rings. So they asked me if I wanted to make a few rings, and I started doing it just for fun. And eventually, I had a lot of demand for rings. So the original business we started was called Ringmasters. Started in 1986. I didn't think this was going to be my job and my living, my bread and butter, but it's turned that way. So it was a hobby business, and we sold a lot of rings, and it turned into since we live here in Utah, it turned into the CTR ring. I don't know if your audience knows what the CTR ring is.
Most of them will. Yeah.
So a lot of these CTR rings took off. So we started making them in colors. We started doing them in foreign languages. And it just kind of took off. At the time, I was working for Volvo Trucks. I was working on the assembly line and trying to find myself, going to college, trying to get a degree because my dad told me I needed to. And eventually, I had to quit my job at Volvo Trucks because I had so many orders for these CTR rings.
Wow.
It got crazy.
So let's go into that for a minute. The CTR ring, so that stands for Choose the Right, right? Correct?
Choose the right, yes. So
it's a ring that the LDS Church promotes, and most, I guess, young teenage.
Well, it was kind of a thing that the 8-year-olds would get. They would teach them to choose right from wrong. And then those kids grew up, and then they wanted to wear them in their teenage and their older years. So we started making them in silver and gold, and we'd put diamonds in them.
How did you get into that target group?
Well, I didn't really want to, because that wasn't my focus.
Were you choosing the wrong, Mike?
I was choosing other things, but it's what started paying the bills.
Yeah.
So I started trying to promote these CTR rings, and finally got into the chains, Desert Book, and some of the other stores. And the crowd kind of went wild. So we got crazy and started making fancy ones, and ones with sports and ones with Braille. It got crazy. So in the process, I started also making a few trinkets like pins, patches, and medals. And I eventually left my Philippine factories. I still use them today, by the way. But I went over to China, and I knocked on a few doors and found some factories that could help me make things. The Utah state was having its centennial, 100th anniversary. We signed up, and we got an exclusive license to make pins, patches, keychains, stickers, Christmas ornaments, belt buckles, things like that for the Utah State Centennial. And in the process, I had a lot of cops that wanted to get this Centennial logo put on a police badge. And at the time, I was a volunteer firefighter, so I started making a few badges just for fun. And we took the Utah State Centennial logo, which shows some pioneers coming into the valley. And next thing you know, I had 8,000 piece badge orders from Highway Patrol,
Wow.
Department of Natural Resources, and we started making police badges of all things. And to this day, we do a lot of police badges. I sell badges to federal agencies, state sheriffs, cities, counties, fire departments all over the whole country. We actually sell in all 50 states, which is cool.
Wow.
Crazy.
Did you start just cold calling a lot of these municipalities?
Well, eventually, after these badge orders started coming in, we started thinking, God, maybe we should make some regular badges. But at the same time, Wisconsin had their sesquicentennial, and we started promoting badges in Wisconsin. Eventually, we did Ohio, and then several states were having anniversary celebrations, and then the year 2000 was coming up, and they called it the Millennium, and we started making Millennium badges. And when all that was said and done, I had to decide if I wanted to make badges, everyday issue badges, which we did.
Wow.
So I still make rings, but I make a lot more police badges.
Is that the number one seller for you guys?
Actually, to this day, we sell mostly challenge coins.
What are those?
So a challenge coin is started in the military. The commander or the one in charge would make a coin and he'd give it out to his people for merit or for thank you or for accomplishment. And it started in the military, and now all the police, sheriff, fire, businesses, even horse jockeys, believe it or not, make challenge coins. It's weird. We sell them to church groups. We sell them to businesses. We sell them Harley Davidson. Actually, Harley Davidson is my largest customer now.
Wow.
And every dealership in the world is buying pins, patches, coins, and fridge magnets from SymbolArts.
Yeah,
Cool
Just
concept.
make it all.
Yeah, there's so much to go into there. It's a fascinating business to think about just having an idea, a concept, and then almost creating a market out of thin air. I think people didn't even know they wanted this stuff until you made it available.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So it was a little bit of a spooky, scary business, but if you dig in and try to figure it out, you can sell your products to about anybody.
Do you
So
consider
I sold
yourself
stuff to the Hells Angels. I sell stuff to church groups. I sell stuff to the Pope. It's crazy.
Don't discriminate.
I know.
That's good.
Do you consider yourself a world-class salesperson?
I like to sell. That's in my DNA. I got a college degree, but I don't think I've ever used it. Took me 6 years to get it, but
It's not promoting college education, folks.
sorry about that.
No, it's fine because we think there's a lot to be said for. I've told my kids this: if you can sell, you can make a living doing anything.
Absolutely. Every business needs a good salesman or a bunch of them. They sell their products, their services, their whatever. And if you're a good salesperson, you probably don't need to go to college. If you're not a good salesperson, you probably need to find a trade or a college.
Something.
Get a degree.
Yeah.
Sales is, I think, the key.
It is the key. And nowadays, I'm going to sound old, but nowadays, the kids, they can't communicate the way we all grew up communicating. And I think that's part of being a good salesman nowadays. If you can communicate, you are light years ahead.
Right.
You just got to get people to be comfortable with you, like you, and then the sales almost just happen themselves. It's weird how the best salesmen have the best personalities.
And
Like you, Mike.
I think, well, I don't know if my personality is that good, but my kids, I tell them, if you can't sell, go out and try it. And if you can't sell, then you got to go learn accounting or learn engineering or a plumber, whatever.
Yeah.
But sales, I think, is where the majority of the money's made in business.
I agree.
What was it like for you when you were getting started and you're kind of transitioning from, hey, I'm selling a lot of rings, but I have these other ideas, and you're calling people and telling them what you have? Did you have a lot of rejection, and how did you deal with that?
Well, you find an open door, and then you make something for somebody. When they get it, and if they smile and they're happy, you go to the next product. You can't be scared about that kind of stuff. So If you go to the Boy Scouts, yeah, they need badges, they need patches, they need trinkets, and you sell them everything you can think of.
How do you get in the door with people like that? You just try to make connections, or did you find numbers and just call people up?
Kind of both. You look for people. You know, I'm connected with a lot of people. You look for people that you know in those industries, and you try to work your way in.
Yeah.
You know, but you also do some cold calling, and then you could also show off some of the stuff that you've done for their competitor, for their friends and their other people, and they refer. There's a lot of referrals going on.
As you've worked, you say Harley Davidson, I know you've done a lot of stuff for the Diesel Brothers and other high-profile companies. How did you get to the decision makers at a place like Harley Davidson?
Well, Harley Davidson came, one of my friends owned a couple dealerships, and he told me he would take me out because I made him some coins and some stuff that was not licensed. And so we kind of broke the rules. We didn't understand. Once we found out there was a license involved, my friend took me out to Milwaukee. We went and knocked on a door, happened to be in the right place at the right time. And the buyers embraced us, and they originally signed us up for challenge coins. And that was kind of a lot of people, what's a challenge coin? Once you start doing it, then they all start collecting them. So I think there's about 1,400 dealerships worldwide now, and most of them have challenge coins in their store, and we're the only ones that can make those.
Wow.
I'll show you all. Video-wise, I'm holding up a coin for the camera to see, but Mike's company made this. So he was talking to me one day, and he says, hey, do you have a coin for your accolades that you accomplished as a jockey? I said, no, I have no idea what that would be. But so this is the front and back. It's got an image of a horse that I rode, and win a lot of cash, and my name. And then on the back, there are a bunch of stakes races that I won. It's all inscribed, and he made a bunch of these for me. And some of my clients actually received one of these. But I mean, the fine detail on these coins is amazing. What they can do, and it's got some weight to it, substance to it. So it's not just some cheap plastic flimsy thing. I was trying to get a lot of the other riders to pick up this idea because up to date, what we have right now are what's called trading cards. It's like a baseball card, but yet those things, as you know, can bend and tear. And these things are pretty sweet when you think about trading coins rather than cards.
If somebody gives you one, you can't throw it away.
Yeah, you'd feel bad throwing that away.
It's too nice to throw away.
Yeah.
So people start collecting those, and next thing you know, we make racks that people collect all their challenge coins from places they've been, from people they've met, from departments, and people that give them a coin for a thank you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy.
Cool idea.
Really neat.
During the coin process, we also got licensed with the 2002 Winter Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
And we made a lot of pins, police badges, patches, and things like that. So it kind of put us on the map.
Wow.
That's awesome. You guys also do like awards, like trophies, things like that, right?
Yep. We bought a trophy shop a while ago. We make plaques and trophies. We try not to, compete with all the little local trophy people, but if there's a company that needs 100 of something, we like to do those.
Yeah. Bigger
or
orders.
for their employees at the end of the year.
I know I have several of your medals that I won in some of these races around the state, a lot of the road, marathons or half marathons, 10Ks. These guys, I mean, your medals are known to be high quality, those heavy duty medals.
Well, that was one of the keys to, I think, our success is we try to be better than everybody else. It's not just a commodity, but we put a little extra twinkle into the product. Maybe it's a little more detail, a little more color, a little more something that, we're not just trying to skimp and get a quick buck. We're trying to do something that people will be proud of.
Yeah.
So we've made medals, huge medals, and some of them spin, some of them rotate, some of them have pieces and moving parts, but we sell medals across the country too, to races of any kind. So we have a race division.
That's awesome.
So you got a whole sales division, people on the phone calling. I mean, you guys have meetings and they talk about new avenues or new prospective clients all the time?
We do. There's a big one coming down the line in the year 2026.
There he goes.
It's the 250th birthday of America.
Oh,
How cool is that?
that is cool.
1776 to 2026.
Didn't even process that until you said that.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
So we're going to try to
I
make...
want to get a medal for that, something. I want a coin.
We have logos already that says America 250. We're going to try to put that on police badges. We're going to put that on coins. We'll make souvenirs for gift shops. Should be fun.
That's cool.
People want it.
What about kind of turning back to the economy? You know, everyone's talking about inflation, costs are up. How has that affected your guys' business, or if at all? I mean, is it costing more to make the same metal than it did 3 or 4 years ago?
It does. My biggest expense is air freight.
Air freight?
So a lot of our products, we manufacture a little bit here in the United States, but we do a lot in the Philippines. We do a lot in China. So we spend a lot of money on air freight for our products. But costs have gone up. We've raised our prices gradually, but we're having our best year ever right now. The last couple of years have been really sweet.
That's awesome. So
During
wait.
COVID, we kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
But after COVID, a lot of our, I'm going to say half of our customers are state, federal, city government things, and they need.
They've got all the money.
we have.
You got all the money. I mean,
They got the money.
according to my pay stub, they're getting some of my money and some of your guys', I'm sure.
So they're spending it.
Yeah. So wait, it's not price gouging then, right?
No.
Maybe your input costs are up, so you've got to raise your prices. I mean, I think a lot of people are
Economics
misunderstanding that
101.
concept. Everybody's pointing at a corporation, bad corporation, they're price gouging.
Greedy corporations are gouging the
Yeah.
customers.
No one looks at, well, it costs more to make the same product.
Well, you have competition in there too.
Oh, I'm sure you guys have a ton.
We have a lot of competition in the badges. We have a lot of competition in the coins, but we just try to do it better. And we try not to be the highest, but we're also not the cheapest.
Yeah.
But we have the ability. If somebody's looking for price, we can do it. We can make it whenever they want, just like anybody else. But we're always going to steer them towards a nicer product and have a great experience.
Sure.
You mentioned the Harley Davidson a minute ago, and that's another example of how a hobby, an outside activity, can also lead to further business and more networking opportunities. So talk to us about how you got involved in riding motorcycles, how many of those you have now, and why do you do it?
Well, I have 2 motorcycles right now. Actually, I have 4 motorcycles.
I don't know why I lied just then.
2 of them are electric. So I have a Honda Goldwing and I have a Harley Davidson, and I love them both, and they both get along with each other. And I like to ride a lot, and that's just me. I ride a couple rides a year. We rode to Alaska up and back 4 times.
Wow.
We thought we'd be done, and there's one more in us still. So maybe in another year or 2, we're going to ride to Alaska and back. It's an amazing experience. But anyways, I can sell my products to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if it's the Boy Scouts or if it's Hell's Angels.
Yeah.
They all buy products.
They all want something
They all want something I can produce.
to be proud of for whatever group they belong to.
Sure.
You've told us about some amazing places you've been, and I think a lot of it you take your bike, or maybe you rent a bike when you get to these places, because you've gone all over the world riding motorcycles.
Yeah, we have. Actually, we have a trip planned this December. We're going to rent Harley Davidsons in New Zealand, and we're going to travel New Zealand. There's a group of us, probably 10 people, and we're going to go on both islands, and we have a trip planned to New Zealand. One of my favorite trips of all time, we rented Harley Davidsons in Germany, and we went to Italy, Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, and with a group of some of my best friends. And to me, to this day, that's probably my favorite trip of all times.
That's awesome.
How do you prepare for something like that? Because obviously you can't take a very big bag of items. What do you do?
Well, you wear the same pants every day. When you bring your wife, you fight a lot and try to tell her she can only bring 2 pants and 3 shirts. And
See, that my wife, that would be over. She wouldn't
be done.
She wouldn't sign up for that.
Yeah.
so we've done it, and it's a struggle, but it's some of the funnest times I've ever had.
Hmm.
One time we rented Hardee's in Norway, went all the way up to the Arctic Highway. A blast. Half the time it rained. My wife even loves it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
No, I don't understand some of that stuff. I mean, I think a big trip for me would be maybe going 50 miles on a motorcycle. How far are you guys going in a day?
Well, I've gone over 1,000 miles in a day, and that's not very fun.
Oof.
So you want to have the most comfortable situation you got. And, if you're going to Alaska, you leave at 5:30 in the morning and you drive until 8 or 9 at night. The sun's still up there.
Wow.
And if you're going 85 miles an hour, you can cover some pretty good ground.
I'm sure.
We stop about every 150 miles and get gas. And
You've never been in an accident on a motorcycle?
I have not, but I've seen a couple of my friends.
Wow.
Scare you?
Yep, it's scary. So you have to be very careful. When you ride a motorcycle, you have to drive for you, and then you have to drive for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm continually processing what you would do if something ran out in front of you or a car comes out. You got to have options. So
Yeah.
you can't daydream.
Go
You
to
have
sleep.
focus
You're on your toes.
on your toes. Energy drinks help.
You still drinking a couple of those a day?
No, I drink a little bit. My wife thinned me down.
Yeah, she's been doing that for a while. I think she's trying to tell you to back off on that stuff because you're already wired. You wake up wired.
Well, I get more work done.
That's what I always
Caffeine
say. I
helps
get more
me.
done.
Mike, weren't you a yoga instructor at some point too?
Oh,
No, he was a high step, kind of like
High fitness?
I taught aerobics for 7
Aerobics,
years.
that's
at the
what it
Ogden
was.
Athletic Club.
Leotards were a big thing back in those days.
That's the reason I was there, because I was a single guy and there was a lot of cute girls. But
Brilliant. He's got
smart.
all the
I tell you
ideas.
what, he's got it figured out.
it's back in my single days. But yeah, I still go work out every morning. But the key to my life is work hard, play hard.
Yeah, you've done both.
You can't play too much. You can't work too much. You got to mix it up.
For sure.
And you've got to do it throughout your life, because when you turn 75 or older and you try to retire and then travel, it's hard.
Yeah.
Might as well so I've only got a few places left on my bucket list. And after that, I'm just going to sit home and knit. No, I don't know what I'm going to do, but
You don't have a plan for retirement years?
right now I don't. Right now, I'm just going to work. I think I can work another 5 to 10 years, and then I've got to come up with a strategy. But right now, I'm just going to work.
How involved are you day to day with SymbolArts? You calling all the shots, or do you have an executive team?
I have an executive team. I've hired a guy that I call CEO. I have a production manager, and I have an accounting manager, a CFO, and I get to listen to what we're doing, but they call a lot of the shots.
Do they? Is that hard for you?
It was in the beginning, but it's good now because the business will run without me.
Mm-hmm. That's value.
So I can go in and see what's going on. I can go in there and sell a little bit here and there and create a little bit. It's my outlet for creating. But overall, there's people that manage the business.
Mm-hmm.
So you just pay people well, trust them, get some good people in there, and cross your fingers and move forward.
Awesome.
What would you tell people is maybe the best advice you've ever received in your life? Tough one.
That's a hard one. So I'm probably different than the average, but I don't like debt. So I try not to get into debt. I try to do, whatever my growth within my means, and also not to be scared, but to, go with your gut feeling and dig in. The first 5 years of my business, I didn't take a dime. I had a second job.
Mm-hmm.
My second job was what paid the bills. So I was able to start my business and let it grow until you can get some good working capital.
That's smart. Yeah, don't take out a lot and be operating on razor thin margins. You're letting it build up.
Well, I see people that start a business and they have a good idea, but they take salaries and paychecks and pull money out of the business so they can never get ahead.
Pretty quick, business is gone.
Yeah.
I've seen that even with big companies, even with publicly traded companies. These CEOs and management teams, and they get their board of directors, and they're all buddies of theirs, so everyone's afraid to speak against anything that comes out of their mouth.
So I would suggest, if you're going to start a business, to have another job that pays your bills and gives you your insurance. so you can start and figure it all out before you have to start taking the money out of the business.
What does it take to become, in your mind, a successful business owner? Other than what you just said.
You have to have a little courage. And you have to have a good concept. And you have to be kind of patient. And you can't just go out and fire everybody when something doesn't go your way or something's wrong. You have to figure it out.
But key people are important. You have to have the right people.
Key people are important. And stability. But it's all about the customers. You want to take care of the customers. You want to have them have a first-class experience. And it's not always about price, but it's about the experience.
Have you had to fire any key employees over the years?
Of course.
And what was the decision like? How did that come about? Just not pulling their weight, or you just see something that you don't feel like?
Well, we've been in business 38 years, so there's been a little of everything. People aren't pulling their weight. Some people are sitting in the wrong seat on the bus, so you can adjust their seats in the bus. You know, we do use a book in our company. It's called Good to Great. And we realize that sometimes if you move somebody's seat to another seat, you put them in the right place and they blossom great. And shine.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just don't fit on your bus. And it doesn't mean they're bad people. You know, one time in the beginning, I took a partner on, and my partner and I got to a point where we couldn't get along. And it's not that he was a bad person, but we had different ideas and different ways to do things. So we just recognized it's good to split. So
It's amazing what you've done over the years.
Do you guys, do you work from home?
We have a few employees that work from home. I struggle with it because I think you don't get as much work from people, but some people are dedicated and some people are, if they can deliver the results you need,
you're okay with it?
I'm okay with it. You know, we have a gal that lives in Washington right now. I think she's moving to Virginia. She does great out of her home. We also have a guy, a salesman in North Carolina. He used to be here and he wanted to move out there, and his numbers are great. So if they can perform, it's all about the results.
Yeah. I think a lot of businesses are starting to realize that they aren't getting the results that they should have, because you're seeing more and more. Hey, get back in here.
Back. Yeah, if
Come back.
If you're not back, your job is gone. So.
Well, there's so much benefit of being in the office because you have other people that you can talk to, and you have resources and
ideas to bounce off, and
and there's a camaraderie there. So
I agree.
I like
energy
it in the office, but there's a few people that can do it from home. I'm not one of them.
Last question for you, Mike. Talk to us and maybe tell us and listeners, what's the one thing that you're the most proud of, or that was the most beneficial as far as decision that you made in your financial life?
That's another hard question. I'm glad that I haven't been in debt, and I'm glad that I'm still working. I remember my financial planners 30 years ago said, when do you want to retire? And I said, 50, 55. We wrote it all down. And then when I hit 50 and 55, just beginning, I'm thinking, what the crap? I can't do that. So sticking with it. And now, what would I do to retire? So sticking with it and staying out of debt and looking for new opportunities to grow and not being scared.
Not being
scared. Take on new markets.
I like all those things. Very good pieces of wisdom and advice for anyone out there thinking about starting a business or just wanting to take their business to the next level. Take some creativity, but you can't be scared of and taking a risk. And I've found that to be true in my business, and everything I've done in my career is just take the risk. A lot of people like to play it safe and stay, and they're not going to ever leave that stone that they're standing on to try to leap to the next one. And it takes a bit of faith to jump from one to the next.
Get your hands dirty because you learn something. You know, sometimes you learn what went right and you learn what went wrong, and then you just try it again.
Figure it out as you go. How do people find your company if they're listening like, hey, I want something for some accolades, or I involved in a group and he sells to everybody, but how do they find you?
SymbolArts.com. SymbolArts.com. We're based in South Ogden. Depending on where you're at, we have ways we call you back. We have sales teams.
Perfect.
Thanks for being here today, Mike. I hope you guys enjoyed it out there listening, and we'll see you all again next time for Harnessing Your Wealth.
Thank you for listening to Harnessing Your Wealth with Billy Peterson. Before we declare the race official, please click the follow button so you can be notified when new episodes become available. For more information about today's show, please check out the show notes. Visit our website at www.petersonws.com or give us a call at 801-475-4002. Once again, thank you for listening. The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guest and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of Peterson Wealth Services. The content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing advice. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning.